Namaste. Today's talk we are going to discuss the 3 kinds of Shraddha. This is an important idea. See, in the Bhagavad Gita, they are trying to see everything or measure everything in terms of its gunas, in terms of its natural qualities, whether it is Satvic or Rajasic or Tamasic. So there is a classification of everything, almost everything in our lives. Our Shraddha, our attitudes, our faith, our intelligence, our happiness, everything dependent on these gunas. So we will look into what are the 3 kinds of Shraddha or faith. Because a man is verily what his faith is, isn't it? What his inner attitude is. So how is this viewed in the Bhagavad Gita? We will look at a few verses from the 17th chapter again. And the Lord's words on these. Lord Krishna says, Trividha bhavati Shraddha, Dehinam sa svabhavaja, Satviki Rajasi chaiva, Tamasi cheti tam shruno. The 7th chapter itself is called Shraddha Traya Vibhaga Yoga. So the 3 kinds of Shraddha, there are 3 types, he says, 3 kinds. And Dehinam sa svabhavaja, they are only natural to all embodied beings. Satviki, the Satvic Shraddha, Rajasi, and the Tamasic. So these are the 3 types. Sattvanurupa sarvasya Shraddha bhavati bharata Shraddha mayoyam purusho yoyat Shraddha sa eva saha. So this is important. You see, Sattvanurupa sarvasya Shraddha bhavati. According to a man's inner quality, his attitude, his Shraddha, his faith is decided. And Shraddha mayoyam purusho. He is verily what his inner attitude is. A man is verily what his inner faith or inner bhav is, isn't it? So this is what they are saying. And yo yat Shraddha sa eva saha. And as is his faith, so is he. That is an integral part of his personality. His faith, his inner attitude, his inner bhav. It includes his entire disposition. It includes his thoughts, his emotions, his will. It includes his outlook. It includes the level of his attention. All of this. And this is affected by the 3 gunas. So according to the guna, he manifests different qualities. In fact, even the gods he worships, the faith he has on people, the food he eats, everything is determined by these 3 gunas of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So this further on the Lord elaborates in the Bhagavad Gita. The next verse I would like to focus upon is Yajante Satvika Devan Yaksha Rakshansi Rajasaha Preta Bhutagananschanye Yajante Tamasa Janaha. See, even the gods he worships will be according to his own nature. The Satvika will worship the highest gods. You can say the highest transcendental qualities which are manifest in life. That will be his object of worship. But the Rajasika will worship the Yakshas and Rakshasas. It is natural for them to worship only beings with more power. And then Preta Bhuta Gananshanye, the Tamasic will worship all sorts of beings, like the Pret, Bhut, the disembodied beings. So according to their own nature, they are worshipping that which they consider to be great, that which they consider to be commendable in life. So you see, everything is decided by the gunas. In fact, at one place, the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that from the animals to the gods, everybody differs according to their gunas. And they will manifest according to this. It's a kind of inbuilt structure, which you can of course change with discipline. But so fundamental are gunas to your personality traits and your character. Then he says even the food you eat is determined by what type of a person you are, which guna predominates. So he says, Aharastvapi sarvasya trividho bhavati priyaha yagnyas tapas tatha danam tesham bhedam imam shruno. He says even the food you eat is determined by the gunas, the yagnyas you perform, The tapas you perform, the sacrifices and austerities you perform, the dhanam you perform, what you give, to whom you give, how you give, everything is affected by the gunas. Now let us check on the three gunas, which decide what we eat, what we consume. That also is determined by the gunas. So you see, the next shloka which I would like to describe is Ayu Sattva Balarogya Sukha Priti Vivardhanaha Rasya Snigdha Sthira Hridya Ahara Satvika Priya. The Satvik type of person, what would he prefer to eat? Ayu Sattva Bala Arogya, that which brings a long life, Sattva, Bala, strength to the body, Arogya, health, Sukha Priti Vivardhanaha, which makes you happy, light, and which makes your emotions sweet, which makes you feel good. Vivardhanaha, Rasya, Snigdha, which are food which is juicy, savory, and calming, and Sthira, nourishing, Hridya, agreeable. So this is the kind of food, Sattvic food, what we say, which falls under the Sattvika Ahara. So the Sattvic type of person will choose this kind of food, which is not very hot and pungent and not that kind, but which is easily digestible, juicy, savory, and agreeable to the system, and calming, which brings harmony into the system, and not with strong odors and not that kind. So this kind of food, well, you can only find out what is that type of food in your life. That is why fruits and vegetables are considered very sattvic. And seeds, juices of vegetables, fruits, all these are considered very sattvic ahar. There are other types of ahar also which can invoke the rajas in your system. So what is the type of ahar which the Rajasic type likes? That's the next discussion. He says, Lord Krishna says, Katvamla lavana tushna tikshna ruksha vidahinaha ahara rajasa seshta dukkha shokamaya prada. The next set of edibles is that which is pungent and bitter, sour and hot, dry. Tikshna ruksha vidahinaha, very dry and burning, that kind. Ahara rajasa seshta, these are the foods which the Rajasic love. And dukkha shokamaya prada, they make your system unhappy, but you don't realize it. Just you fall for the taste. So under this are classified all hot foods, and even garlic and onion and pickles and all this kind, which is hot, pungent, and it tickles your taste buds but leaves the body and mind not very happy because it is not even easily digestible. So this is the type the Rajasic love. And the Tamasic, they love food which is stale and putrid. Yata yamam gatarasam puti paryushitam chayat uchishtam apicha bedhyam bhojanam tamasapriyam. The food that is cold, non-juicy, all the juice has left it, putrid and stale, and even tasted by others. That kind of food, which is even impure and makes you heavy. It doesn't make you light, and it's not easily digestible. This kind of food is loved by the Tamasic. So now check and see what are these types of foods which leave your mind heavy. So the recommendation in the Bhagavad Gita is you should switch over to Sattvik Ahar, that form of diet which minimally stays in your digestive tract, which is quickly digested, which is snigdha, which is savory, which is not too oily or spicy, and which is easily digestible. Boiled foods, boiled vegetables and fruits, all these fall under the category of the Sattvik. So when we switch over to a Sattvik diet, the mind will naturally remain light and healthy. That heaviness, sluggishness will not be there in the system. So this is helpful for yoga. That is why sattva is the way to yoga. Without a Sattvik life, a Sattvik lifestyle, nobody can enter into the state of yoga. this we must take care of. That is why the study of these 3 types of Shraddha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.